Hello and welcome, guys, to a brand new series on the channel. This is going to be Dark Souls 3, as you can probably tell from this glorious loading screen. Let's just jump right in here.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Okay then, so that's our intro. Let's just get a name down there first of all. So, a couple of things. First of all, I've gone through the tutorial area of this, so I have played a little bit so far, just because I wanted to make sure that everything was, recordable, and, it's all going to go well for us. Unfortunately, we have had a bit of an issue. You see, the first bonfire you get to has a bit of a problem. But we'll cover that again in a moment. Let's just get it started here, shall we? Okay. So, the problem is this. The very first bonfire, at least the first or second bonfire we get to in the game, actually break the game so badly, it made me have to restart my computer. Like, actually hold down the power button and restart it. I haven't had to do that for probably about 5 years. That is fucking unacceptable. Quite honestly, that on its own nearly made me refund it. Which I'm not happy about. Because I like Dark Souls. I like it a lot. I didn't like the way they went with Dark Souls 2. There's a couple of problems I had with it, soul memory being one of it. A lot of people seem to have similar problems, so I don't think I'm alone in saying that. But I like a lot of what I've seen so far in the game beyond that. So I'm willing to give it a shot. Now, supposedly, they are working on a fix for it, but they're waiting on data. From what I've seen just by browsing around the Reddit, trying to figure out how to fix it and make it so it didn't crash, because apparently this actually goes beyond the first bonfire as well. From browsing around, supposedly within about a week or so, they're hoping to have a fix ready for it. Now bear in mind though, this is now the second day of launch for it. So not only have they had any pre-release they've done, so alpha and beta, they've also had those couple of days there to get information. And let's be honest, I'm pretty sure people were going near bonfires in the alpha and beta. So I don't know why this managed to sneak through, but not happy. Now, to be fair to them, it is apparently only affecting some people, but it's also affecting a lot of some people, if that makes sense. So, we're coming up to the point right now, and we're going to see if we've managed to make it so that this doesn't happen. It should be fine. And right here is where it would crash. Now, there's a couple of things. If you go to your settings, and no, I can. If I don't have this on low, it will crash horrifically. Now, the only reason it isn't crashing is because I have this on. If I was to take this off, I would take a single step and it would break. I don't know why, but that is ridiculous. Now, as I do plan on going around without my hood on, I'll be lowering my lighting. Now, I'm going to put aside those complaints, for the moment at least, and we're going to just talk about what's actually happening in the game. So, first of all, done character customization and everything. That's already been done. This is a character that I've got my own test saved. I've done the tutorial on already. Got to the second or third bonfire in the game. So I know that my character model is fine, because I can only assume that because lighting seems to break it and not having your hood on seems to make it break as well. I can only assume that they're in some way related to your character model as well, so I want to make sure I use the same character model I've tested this with. So we're using that. So, sorry, you don't get to see any character customization, unfortunately. terrible damage. And he fell off if I could get that. Okay, no problem. We are playing as a thief. And the reason that I've done that is because, well, for what? What the hell was that noise? That sounded like something with wings landing. And, okay. I see the problem here. Just gonna sneak around here for the moment. Should mention as well, for those who are interested and haven't played this for some reason, if you are interested in Dark Souls, they have gone back to they've now enforced, I should say, the left stick in jump mechanic, which I'm absolutely fine with. I found to be more inaccurate than anything else, so. But some people don't like that, and as far as I'm aware, there isn't a way to change that yet. But again, to me, not a problem. Now, the reason I went for this character, among others, is that they have a bow. And I like the bow. I like it a lot. And I also know I can actually beat this little tutorial boss with the dagger. It is honestly a little bit difficult. Supposedly, for those of you who haven't been keeping up with Dark Souls news for one reason or another, they have admitted to the press release that they were passing that they'd actually made the bosses weaker. Oh yeah, there's apparently some mechanic in the new game, just in case you guys were wondering. I kind of probably should address that. It's, you know, it's a pretty big change from all the other Dark Souls games. I don't think we really had anything like this. But yeah, they apparently thought that the press release should be made easier, and honestly, not a lot of people like that. There has been a bit of drama around that, but there's a lot of drama around Dark Souls in general, especially the release. Now we did have a message on screen there for the briefest of seconds there, Ember restored, and you might notice my character's now kind of, you know, semi-glowing, on fire, and, you know, kind of generally embery. Reason for that is, well, basically no humanity. It's kind of the same thing. And we should also take that off so we can see our character's lovely hair. Because, you know, spending that time customizing a character then have to hide it is a stupid idea. Now, as I did mention, pick this class, the Thief, for... I can't help but feel I should hit him there, but okay. I picked the Thief because they start with a bow, and no other class seems to start with a bow. And I, so far in the, you know, short little space of time that I played, haven't actually found anywhere that sells a bow either. I've found arrows, but not a bow. So, I like bows. This is kind of the only real starting class I can pick. Let's go take care of this guy. And do we want to deal with this? Sure. Now run away from flaming crossbow man. He's not doing too good at his job, I'm not gonna lie. Now it's probably worth mentioning that the embers, while also making you look pretty damn sweet with the, you know, glowy, embery trail that you've got going on, do also get an increase to your HP. That is worth it. It's not insignificant, and it's also something that I don't think we've had in any Dark Souls previously. Unless you want to count when you lose health, if you're going hollow in Dark Souls 1, for example, or when you die in Dark Souls 2. Ah, and I almost forgot. Just around here. So, this next area is pretty much where I wanted to. So from there, that's not happened before. From this next room onwards, it is going to be completely blind. And, you know, to be fair, this last bit literally is just the tutorial. Find some stuff and look at the amazing scenery. And it does look pretty good, even with, you know, loss of... What is that? I'm now just trying to think... That's where we fought... Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, again, it's kind of gone back to Dark Souls 1 where you can kind of see, you know, where you've came from. I'm just trying to think now. Yeah, we did light a bonfire up there, didn't we? Yeah, it's pretty detailed. Can't complain about it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a shame about the, should we say, mismanaged launch that they had. Also, yes, this is Firelink Shrine. Bonfire will deliver thee to Lothric. Not been up here before, so this is just me exploring the world. And honestly, let's just be honest here, I expect that a lot with this game. Dark Souls games are, you know, one of the few games I will spend a lot of time going pretty in-depth in my exploration. So you will probably have an episode or two where it's going to be just me running around, mostly aimlessly. And nothing can come up behind me. So locked gate, always good. That kind of reminds me of the elevator that goes down near Firelink Shrine in Dark Souls 1. But should mention as well, there is no master key in this game or a parallel of it. Seed of a giant tree is yet to fall. Thought that looked familiar. The giant trees from Dark Souls 2. Ah. Okay. Hint. Okay, no, that's not a message. Bone. And did I just miss this when I was out here earlier? No, this looks to be a little different at least. Ember. So again, embers basically just replace humanity. So if you see an ember, or if I refer to it as a humanity, that's what it is. Here we go. I'll be honest, I'm a little concerned because this now looks very much like the graveyard, and well, we've all been to the graveyard, haven't we? You know, the amount of bloodstains there, don't make me feel too comfortable about going there just yet. Take it slow for a moment. Check out what's around and about. We'll go hit up the bonfire, then we'll go and see what that guy has in store for us. Ah, so that's just round to the left. And I completely missed that before, so there's that. And this is the new Emerald Herald, by the way. But let's quickly insert our sword. And, you know, burn our right hand, you know. We're not using that for a weapon. Definitely nothing could go wrong with that. So, there's bonfire levels. I can only assume if using the Burn Undead Bone Shard, you'll get something similar where you get leveling up of enemies in the area. But, again, have not had a chance to play around with that too much. Travel, you get that right from the get-go. And attune spells, obviously. Oh, and your storage box as well, which is just a thing now. So, let us
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side. Ashen One, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen One, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen One, to be as I will.
Okay.
Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
And then yeah, just regular level up screen, nothing fancy. It's probably worth mentioning, I'm not sure if you can hear it, just listen to the background music for a moment. I don't know if you're quite going to be able to hear that on YouTube, but she is chanting or praying while you're there. It's a nice little touch. I don't think that's been in any of the previous games. At least not in Dark Souls 2, I should say. The level up screen has been changed a little bit. You can see as I kind of go through these that there's a bit of an orangey tint to a few of the things. Second. And there's an orangey tint to a lot of the abilities there, like this one here. Basically affects all my weapon attack power. What that's saying is, well, dexterity increases that. You can see it before you even try and put a point in there. So that there, for example, put 2 points in there. It's an increase to everything apart from my left-hand weapon 1 and 2. But if I put another point in there, you can see there. So if I was just to do this, I'd think, oh well, it only affects these 4 weapons. It doesn't affect the other 2. Turns out, not the case. So it's quite a nice little change, just graphically very pleasing. I'm thinking we're going to be doing a bit of a dex play.
Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
A bit of a dex play for I tend to like, again, as you can probably guess, bows and stuff. So, of course, if you have a look there, you got attribute bonus there, so an E from strength and a D from dexterity, so we are going to benefit from going for dex. Now, what I probably should do first, though, is go over here.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
So, very reminiscent of the Dark Souls 2 old hags, I think they were called, at the very start, where you basically picked your character and customized them. Now acting as a merchant for us, at least at Firelink. There's a lot of things you can buy from them. Prism Stones are back, of course, Dried Finger. Probably a couple of things worth picking up. The White Sign Stone, White Sign Soapstone. And, of course, some arrows. So benefit there, we've got left bumper, right bumper to sets of 10, can have up to 172 of them, as you can see at the bottom there. Really nice UI change. Good to see. As we've seen, huh? You can only have 99. Interesting. Now that's actually news to me. Again, I've literally got the Firelink and done nothing more, so this is all kinds of new to me. So So that's interesting. You can only have 99 of them at a time. Ah. Okay, let's talk to her for a little bit.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death? Ashen One, is it not? Ashen One, be sure to bring more souls.
And again, everyone leaves off with a creepy laugh, as is standard for Dark Souls. This guy looks a little familiar.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
So, Andre?
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large. But when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would.
So it sounds like we've got an interesting combination. Second again, though. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. But it seems as though you've got an interesting combination on the durability. So it looks as though you can swing as much as you want, as long as it doesn't break. Rest at a bonfire, automatically fixed. It's fine, no problem. If it does break, you need to come to him and get it repaired. So you can't just then rest at a bonfire. That's how I'm taking that. That's interesting. And I'm wondering if there's going to be any enemies that sort of like poison build up you and give you this, increased damage to your weapon or something similar.
There are two ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down. Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned. Oh, by the by, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh?
So Andre does bring up a good point. There are now two types of Estus flask that we've got. We've got the regular one, very familiar with, and let's see, can't actually highlight it. The other one is, I believe, the Ashen.
But be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
of what should be the Ashen Estus Flask. Yep. And you got hit points, and I think the other one is focus points. I don't think it actually tells you which one it is. And no, doesn't tell you what the F actually stands for, but I would assume it would be focus points in this case. Let's talk to him again, see if there's any more dialogue.
Well met. 'Tis good to see ye in good health. What needs smithing this day? Weapons and protection is but so.
Okay, so it looks like we exhausted that then. We don't have enough to do any reinforcement at the moment. We need 2 Titanite shards. We have 1.
Prithee, be careful. I don't.
And that's that. I don't think there's anyone else here at the moment. So for the moment, having just done a little bit of exploring there, we will call that an episode for the moment. That's pretty much the tutorial out of the way. And next episode we'll come back and we'll go and fight whatever that guy was with all the blood pools around him. And we'll hopefully have some fun with that. So if you guys want to see the next episode, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And leave a like on this one here so I know you guys are actually interested in watching more of it. But until then, I will see you guys next time.